Good morning, Mr. Shu. Happy Saturday. I woke up about 2.5 minutes ago, so I'm going to try to film this Newbery video before my first cup of coffee, which doesn't happen very often. I don't actually have the book, Mr. Shu. I took it back to the library that I'm going to be talking about today. I actually carried it around in my van, Mr. Shu, the entire week, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to film a video, and many great opportunities happened this week, but I kept forgetting to film my video. And then I got some emails from my library asking for some of their books back, so I piled in lots of library books into the van, and the book that I chose was accidentally returned. I picked Dark Emperor and Other Poems from the Night as my pick. It was a very difficult decision to pick this book, Mr. Shu. And to be completely honest, a small part of it was because it was shorter than some of the other books. And another reason was I'm going to try to only allow myself to read one book by each from an author, so only one book per author. And I'm really struggling, Mr. Shu, to decide which Jennifer Holm book to reread. I was very, very tempted to reread Turtle. At the end of the day, with all of the nerd camp stuff, I thought that I wouldn't be able to give Turtle as much attention as I wanted. So I reread Dark Emperor, and I really enjoyed it this time, Mr. Shu. I think I enjoyed it the first time or two that I read it. I'm not really that much of a poetry expert, so I don't really know I don't really know what makes poetry good. I hate saying that, but I'm trying to learn more. Mary Lee Han is doing a session at Nerd Camp on Monday that I hope to attend, about using poetry in the classroom, so hopefully that will help me out a little bit more. I really enjoyed the poems, I enjoyed the illustrations, I enjoyed the nonfiction text that went to all of them. It's always fun to see books that are a little bit different than your traditional Newbery style win something and be honored, so that was fun to see. So I hope you're doing well. Vegas looked like a lot of fun. I tried to read all of your tweets. It looked like you had an amazing time. So happy for you, Mr. Shu, that you were able to kind of put the bow on that great year, that package I don't know what I'm trying to say. Mr. Shu, I should never film a Newbery video without coffee. I think you know what I'm trying to say, though. Congratulations, Mr. Shu. So happy for you. I'm really excited to see some of your next big projects. I think big things in store for Mr. Johnny Shu. I guess I'll just take a moment now, Mr. Shu, to talk about Nerd Camp. Very excited that you'll be joining us for Tuesday's sessions, and it'll be really great to see you, Mr. Shu. We've been so busy. This is probably the most disconnected we've been, Mr. Shu, since like 2011. So looking forward. I keep thinking, I should send Mr. Shu this text, or I should ask him. And I'm like, oh, he's so busy. I'll just wait. We can reconnect at Nerd Camp. So I'm looking forward to that, Mr. Shu. It'll be a busy day, but I'm sure we'll have time to get together, film some videos, and chat. Looking forward to it as always. But a couple of things. Arnie the Donut. I'm very excited to see Lori Keller at Nerd Camp Junior. And I think that Lori was one of the first authors that I ran the idea by, and she was totally up for coming. So without Lori Keller, there would be no Nerd Camp Junior. So thanks, Lori. I'm excited to have Lori and Arnie there next week. Bookbug donated 100 of these books, Mr. Shu. It's hard to not thank Mr. Shu when you see a great book bag like this, especially from an independent bookshop. So we have that. 100 people will be getting these. I think we stuffed 350-ish bags for people. And I'm just going to share a little bit that is in some of these bags. Not all, bags aren't the same, but here's just a few books. I love these bobblehead books, as do my students. I'm excited to read this one. Comic Squad, I think it's so fitting that Nerd Camp is Tuesday, July 8th, considering that this wonderful book is dedicated to Nerdy Book Club by so many of our friends, Mr. Shu. I love this book so much. If you had to ask me which story was my favorite, I would be very sad, because that would be a very difficult question to answer. And Kate Messner's Manhunt, we're giving away a couple hundred copies of these, courtesy of Scholastic. Giving up tons of these, courtesy of Random House. And Penguin was so generous to send so many books, including a whole few boxes of the Who Was book. So, Mr. Shu, I hope you have a wonderful day. Sorry for rambling on. I'm going to go make some coffee, and then go and sit outside and watch my son jump on the trampoline. Have a great day, Mr. Shu. And as always, happy reading.